Stacey J. I'm here today. Let's talk about the ones in Frocktails organized by Larissa and Rosie. My first time to the show. Let me tell you how it goes. Sit back, relax, grab a drink. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, and share.
Hi, I'm Stacey J and this is my studio. I'd like to say welcome back to anyone who has been watching me and welcome to anyone that is new. If you're new and you're stopping in for the very first time, thank you very much for stopping in. It is great to have you on board. I have a lovely group of sewers that follow me, so I'd love it if you'd follow me as well. So I haven't been on for a while. Don't know when, but anyway, I haven't been on for a while, and that's because I have had a busy week. Now, do I say that every week? Yes, I do, but this week has been a little bit busy. Might have left a few things to the last minute, but apparently not the last minute like some. This last night was Frocktails, Wellington Frocktails, and for the very first time in my life, I went to one, and I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. That's not all I'm going to say, because that wouldn't be me, but I am going to just give you a story of my week and then throw you into what happened last night, which sent, it was good. Anyway, so excuse my parents, I did get to sleep after midnight last night. Left the building at 10:44, it shut at 10. But so I am, and it's Sunday and I'm a bit jaded. I've just been upstairs with Mr. Christopher and helping him put a proposal towards something he needs to put a proposal towards. Apparently I'm the typist in the family, so I'm up there typing, and also I'm a good wordsmith. Probably not a good wordsmith when I speak, but I can put words together on paper. So I've been up there doing that for the last few hours. So I probably look super jaded without makeup as well. So I've just sent him off to fix something at Mum's on Father's Day. There you go. So he's off doing that now. And so I thought I'd take the time to do what I wanted to do. So last week was a bit of a busy one. I had quite a bit on. I spent Wednesday at the place I go and do some work. I went there then that day. I ended up fixing my son's suit by taking in at the back, shortening the sleeves and moving the buttons to give it more slimness throughout. He has got a ball to go to on the 12th of this month, so just before I go away. So it's actually just needs 4 buttons now sewn on, and I'm lapping them like some suits do have. So that particular day, he also got his friend to come around because his friend thought, no, I need my suit thinned out too in the jacket. And he came over and I actually reassured him that it's good. I moved his buttons over, I think by about 1 centimetre, and it just took that slimmed in because they're both young teenage boys that are arrowed down to the waist, broad shoulders, narrow waist, which happens to be like that with some boys at that age. Young men at that age. So I did that. I also got rid of some other work I had to get done. I wanted everything out of my studio last week so that I could plan ahead and go for gold with my sewing for my holiday. So I was just thought Mr. Christopher was back, but he's not. So what did I do? I want to show you what I have made, because I'm like super gorgeous little thing that I've made. I'll just go and get it because I thought I had everything with me, but realized I forgot that. I made this dress before. I made it with a sew along. I was sitting outside on the deck and I made it for Abigail, but this one is not for Abigail. So that's Butterick 4958. No glasses on. You tell me if I'm wrong. So there's the line drawings for it. I made the wee dress in the center, this big one here. And this is, oh pussycat, where have you been? Okay, so it is the cutest wee dress. I did a wee reel on it, and I actually had one of my clients who came in and said she had to get dressed up to go to or her birthday, actually it's her 50th, Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So, and she was going as White Snow White. I think that's what it was. And her dress was too long, so I quickly whipped it up. Worst job ever, but it was just like folded it up because it was full and together. Anyway, she said, well, show me the dress. So the little pockets are totally matching. So there it fits and it looks, yeah. And it's got 2 little blue buttons on the back, 2 big pockets. It's just adorable. I wish I could wear it. I got the fabric and I thought, why? I didn't get the fabric. It was in my vault. And I looked at it and go, what am I going to do with this? Now, going over to Aussie, I want to sort of bring something for the people that are going to put up with us. And when I ask, I mean Chris. Yeah, just kidding. So this is actually for my brother's partner, Tracey. It's not for her, it's for her granddaughter, Amelia. And yeah, so I whipped that up. It's just so adorable. But yes, I did a sew along with one for Abigail maybe 2 summers ago, because I know I was sitting on the deck. And I did it per the plan, okay, per the instructions. But I don't normally do it like that because it's got the double yoke, so I do it a different way. So nice little make. Now, I did show my friend Donna, who I'm staying with over there as well. She's out at Canungra, and I showed her and she's, it's so cute. So she has asked if I would make one for her granddaughter, and which I'm really happy with. I don't mind because I haven't made anything for Donna. So that's really cool. So I do have enough to make the skirt and the kitty cat, but I'm going to take a blue or a darker blue, and I'm going to, because there's a darker blue in some of the flowers, so I'll pop out those flowers, and I'll make the bodice in the darker blue, and the pockets will be in the darker blue. So Mum suggested that I make little tulip pockets, because at the time on my hair, so she's, oh my god, I'm making it so much harder for you. And she suggested that a little kitty cat would pop out, like maybe that one just pop out the top of a pocket, you know. So I've cut out the skirt. It fitted on 1 inch of its life. It's actually, I made it shorter by, it's quite a long dress. So the fullness of the skirt just gets longer as the child supposedly gets older. So this is a size 3, so the 4's there and the 5's there. So so I actually upgraded it. I graded it up because that goes from 1 to 4. So I graded it up for Donna's because her wee girl's 5, and which would be really, really cool because if her daughter had a daughter, but she's got a son. So I can't make him a dress. I can make him something else. But anyway, enough of that. So I've made that. I've got another one cut out. And then Mum suggested, why don't you make a Santa one that they can give them the dresses on like Christmas. So they can wear it for a Christmas dress. So we came across in my stash some Santa fabric. And I said, yeah, I'll make a Santa one, so it'll be red bodice, Santa skirt. Yeah, so keep it like that. So that's really cool. So I've got a few other little girly things, and whether I get through them all, because I do have a grown as girl clothes that I need to make to cover my butt while I'm there. So yeah, so that's what I've made. I made that. The other thing I have made was my Frocktails dress. Now, going back to my week, spent a lot of time doing jobs I needed to do and get done and sorted out. So I did them because I wanted to concentrate. Now, it got to the point where Frocktails was on the Saturday and it was Wednesday evening, and I'm like, okay. And Victoria said, oh, I won't be going into uni tomorrow because of, I can't remember the reason, but she wasn't going into uni. I said, okay. And normally she comes and sits with me and we chat while I sew. I said, I've got to sew my Frocktails dress. I said, so no interruptions. And she said, okay. So I got to sit down. I came down. I had a client at 9 o'clock come and pick something up, and then sorry, Samuel's texting me, and I can't read it because I got my glasses on, and tidied up the studio because the studio was a mess, pretty much like it is now. I actually have swept today, and I started on my dress, and about 5:15 I'd finished my dress. Well, at least I thought I had. I'll tell you about that later. So I made the dress. I made Butterick 6870, which is this one here. I made the View A. When I ever sent it to somebody, I said the blue one. And I made contrasting. You might be able to see old Queenie over here. And the colour. There's the line drawings. I love me a vintage dress. And I think the silhouette of this actually is quite good for my body type. I love this, but I look like a box because everything's up there, like my boobs, my waist, and my... So I do love that style, but I need it to go over my hips before it flares out to make me look like I have shape. So be back in a sec, when and why it took me till Thursday before Frocktails for me to start making my dress was because I did not feel the joy with the fabric that I had set aside for it. Now, again, I shopped in the vault and I had this linen, which is, I like it. I do love it. But I just couldn't put the two together to feel the passion in it. So on Tuesday, Monday, I went shopping back in my vault and I came across another fabric. So shopping in my vault, sorry, I just had to let the dog out, then back in, because that's how my life is. They tell me what they want and I do it. So I came across this fabric. Blues. Me and blues, we go together like Ramalama Ding Dong, right? But I wanted to also have the contrasting collar. So I needed to find something out of this that was going to contrast. Now, lucky for me, 5 years ago, I helped dress one of my clients. She was Mary in Jesus Christ Superstar, and she wore gold on the stage. And that's where this comes in. I'm just going to turn this inside out. So this is where the gold came in. So I think it's Dupion. Suc Dupion. Is that how you say it? So I had some of that left. And I could not believe how well they actually worked together as a team. And that is teamwork. Effort, man. Serious effort. And so I was, okay, that's me. Now, the main body of the sleeve, the shirt, the top of the dress, okay, has a grown-on sleeve. It's built on, right? So that takes up and steals a heck of a lot of fabric. So Mum was here at that stage, and I'd laid out the bodice, and it didn't reach across from selvage to selvage. So I snipped in 1.5 centimeters off the sleeve length, and then I did that, and it fitted on nicely, but I couldn't get the skirt to fit. So I left it. This is not Thursday, this is like Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday. So I left it, and then I was on the phone to my friend Jauncey, and I'm just playing with this fabric, playing with it, and I got it to fit. Now, if you look at the side seam on one of the sides, you'll see that the selvage is in there. Now, lucky for me, the selvage was the same colour as the dress, as this fabric. It didn't break, but it did have the grooves, the textures of all that. So you can see that if you get down on the ground and have a look. So don't do that. So I didn't have to shorten it. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to add gold to the dress, the skirt part of the dress. So I was quite excited. And yes, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring my little dress in front of you so you can see the whole thing. Didn't feel the love. Did not feel the love. So this is the dress, and I absolutely love it. So one of the things I did was self-covering buttons, okay, that go down there that match the collar. And I also made the belt in the gold to also cinch in the waist, but to also break it up and to vintenize it. That's a new word, vintenize. I can say it how I want because it's not really a word. So on Friday, I took what was just a plain belt to Pete's Emporium to go and get a buckle because I didn't have a buckle. Now everything else in this whole thing I had in the room, okay, and I didn't have a buckle, and I got there and they didn't have a buckle that's the right size, so it's a little bit bigger and it's silver. So I bought some gold nail polish and I nail polished it up. I did. I nail polished up the buckle, and I just bring you down to see. I plugged you in because I was running out of charge. So check out that belt buckle. That is nail polish. I sat there and polished it for 2 days. Right, and then I've got all these little gold grommets that sit there and hold the belt nicely. What the belt didn't have, and maybe it was meant to have the hooky thing there, was a belt keeper. So I made a keeper and slipped that on. So I wanted it nice and tight because I didn't want my belt flopping around because that would annoy me. But I just think it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. I am very happy with the way it turned out. Now, as I said, I took about 1.5 centimeters off the sleeve. So what I did was I made a little cuff for the sleeve. So it's sewn up there, just overlocked in. And I made the cuff so it now has a little bit more length, and it's also got that gold edging on it there. So it all just fits in nicely. There's nothing that looks like it's out of place. Dog growling at the door, I'll let it in. So I felt the joy. I seriously felt the joy in the whole thing. And what I'd made before this was the little kitten dress. And I was just feeling overjoyed with everything. So this sat on my mannequin on the Friday. I got home on Saturday. So I had a really huge day with Victoria. So we had a medical appointment that lasted, we were gone for about 3.5 hours. And I got back, what else? Oh, and then I had an appointment in with my person that I do hemming for. So I had an appointment to measure up for somebody in there. And then I came home. So Friday was a kind of like a little bit of a write-off, but it's what it is. And then I got up on Saturday and I came back into the room. And do you think I could find my belt? We have come to the conclusion I left the belt at Pete's Emporium. So I had to whip up another belt, which was fair enough. Now, the other problem I had was my hair is doing its whatever, and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I made me a wee pillbox hat. Now, I never made a pillbox hat before, so this was kind of out of the bag for me, and I had it sitting on the back of my head like that, pinned on, and actually it was more that there, and pinned on, and that lasted the whole night. It was pinned on. Inside, I wanted the bow to be quite rounded, so I popped some horsehair in there so that it had that structure going on there. It's got buckram in the hat, hand stitched the side. Underneath this has got yellow felt, and I hand stitched all around the top of that, and sewed it on with the machine the side one, and then I hand stitched all around here. Then I also then hand stitched all around there with this top one, and then when I put the lining in, that's all hand stitched. Now this was made on Saturday, and of course a great big whoop in the hat as well, just to say who I am. This has been sitting in my stuff for years and years, and finally it has a place. So there's the hat. Oh, I'll put it like that so you can see that. And then the other thing I thought of was I don't have a gold belt, a gold bag. So I took what was left of the fabric and made myself a great big round bag. Now, because you had to have ID, and so I made a round bag, very, very crassly. This is the last thing I made, and I put grommets in it. Oh, that grommet's come out. How rude. Well, it lasted the night. What can I say? And I made a little tie with the gold, and it just became a little bag that my phone could sit in, my little wallet could sit in, my ID could sit in, and my lippy. I did put a little pocket, that was a scrap, so I just converted it and made it into a pocket. So that's on the inside, and in there I had business cards because I did. And so that was the bag that I had. So those are the three things that I had made for Frocktails. So I was feeling very blue in a good way, like a little ray of sunshine. So that was all done. I finished that because Mr. Christopher went to work yesterday. I think the guy has stopped. Anyway, so he's at Mum's today. And he got home, I sat on the bed for a while and then got up and had a shower and got ready. I haven't got ready to go out like that for a very, very long time. So the shoes were also selected prior to the evening. I knew which shoes I was going to wear because I usually make an outfit around shoes. This time I actually made the outfit and thought, I think I know what shoes I can wear. So these are the shoes that I wore. Okay, so they're mighty, mighty high. I tried them on Saturday when I was coming downstairs. I put them on just to see if I could walk in them still. It's been a while. And yes, I could, but got to the bottom of the stairs and Victoria looked at me and went, "What is on your feet? You are so tall." And she came around and showed her, because I had jeans on, to show to the bottom. She was, "Oh my goodness." And then Chris came up to me and he's sort of looking up at me. He goes, no, wrong. This is the wrong picture. So let's just say I grew a little bit. So not only did I add, what was about 2 centimeters under my feet, I also was on tippy toes under that. So I was relatively tall last night. So exciting though. First time I've been to this. I don't know if I was nervous about going. I knew that I was going to meet up with one of my gorgeous viewers, and that is Cat in the Hat, and I was quite excited about that. Mr. Christopher was driving me in, and he was coming to pick me up afterwards so I could relax, have a cocktail or two, and just enjoy myself. So we go into town. Now, there's 2 entries to this particular place, and one doesn't open on the weekend, so you had to go to the other. But when you look up and Google the address, it's on the other one that's shut. So we went down Victoria Road, and the roadworks stopped us. Like, no more, you can't go any further, just that's the end of your road, and so he couldn't drive any further. And I said, "Oh, well, I'll get out here and you try and get back onto the motorway." And so he did. Now, just remember, okay? Just remember. So I've got my map. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So I spent 5 minutes walking backwards and forwards in literally a six shop windows in the middle of the city with people walking all around me. It was about then when I couldn't get which way I was meant to go. Where am I going? Every time I centered the little arrow thing, it wasn't telling me where I was or which way I was facing. So I started to freak out a little bit. I did, because I was a fair whack away from where I was meant to be. And So I called Mr. Christopher, and he's trying to talk to me, but he's also driving. And he pulled into, between the city and Petone, there is a BP service station that you can go in and self-service yourself, right? So he pulls in there so he can talk to me. And I've got him on speaker and all that sort of stuff. And he goes, okay, now, he said, what's the place again? I said it to him again, and he says, Googling it, and he's saying, send me your location. So I sent him my location on WhatsApp. And the whole time, my heart's starting to race. I was warm because I had my big rose coat on. And people were looking at me. I had a pillbox hat on, for the love of God. So people were looking at me, and I had... So they probably thought I was a streetwalker. Anyway. God, that's an old-fashioned term, isn't it? So anyway, he's saying, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to walk here. Okay, now I want you to go left. So I'm walking there, I'm walking, and he goes, okay, hang on a sec, just hang on a sec, let me just regroup. And he goes, you're going to find a building. And he said the building name, can't think of the building. And he goes, there's a big space. And I sat down on a bus seat, and I just sat there for a bit trying to regroup myself. And he goes, if you look up, there's a thingo up there. And I said, oh yeah, I can see that. And he goes, yeah, okay, so I want you to go across the road and walk down there. I said, okay. So I stood there, just about to go and walk towards the crossing, and somebody said, excuse me. And I sort of, hang on a sec, and I turned around, and she said, I've just got to say, you look absolutely stunning. And I said, thank you. And then my brain went, so do they. And I went, excuse me, are you guys going to Frocktails? And they said, yes, we are. And I said, I have no idea where I'm going. Am I able to come with you guys? And she said, of course you can. I said, Christopher, I've met some people. I've met my kind of people, and they're gonna take me there. I'm all good now. I'm all good now. Thank you. Because he was literally thinking, okay, I got to get off at Petone, turn around and come back into the city. I was thinking, I'm going to the train station and going home. That's where I was. So it was a bit of a freak out for a good 15 minutes. And walking the streets, and these, did I mention these were what I was walking in? I walk in heels every day, but these. So I met up with a lady called Candy and Steph, okay, and they walked me and themselves to the Frocktails. Even then, they got a bit, should we go left or right? Should we go left or right? And Mr. Christopher said, you've got to get to JB High Five. The building itself is called that, and that's where it is. And lo and behold, we walked up to it, and boom chakalaka, on the sign above it, it said JB High Five. So he knew what he was talking about, thank goodness. So, yes, so they said, you'll be right, you come with us. We'll look after you. We'll introduce you to people. I said, thank you so much. So I went in there, went up the lift, walked in, took our coats off, and just getting my bag, my goodies bag, and Karen came up to me. She goes, Stacey. I said, yes. And she said, it's Cat in the Hat. And I said, and your real name is? And she said, Karen. And I was like, yay. So when Candy and Steph had seen that I had a human that knew me, they said, you're good? And I said, yes, I'm good. Thank you so much. So they were like my superheroes of the night. They just came in and just helped me. It was just absolutely fantastic. So if by chance you're watching this, you have no idea how grateful I am that you guys just, it was fantastic. So thank you so much. And so then we went, so I met up with Karen, and Karen introduced me to a few people as well. And then I said to her, I've got to seriously go and get a drink, because I think I need one now. I just need to calm the farm. And I went to go and get a drink, and then I got stopped by somebody else who, there was a bingo card, and you introduced the Met people by asking questions, and that. They said, you've just got here. I said, yes. And they said, is this your first time? I said, yes, it is my first time. And they said, you made your hat? And I said, yes, I made my hat. So that was one of them, making a hat. So, and I think I was the only one that wore a hat. I don't know if there was any fascinators in there. Let the dog in. So I started talking to these people. They helped me out with a few other things. And then I said, seriously, I got to go and get a drink. Still hadn't got to the bar, so it was about 20 minutes later. Sober. Went up to the bar, and then made my way back, and then some other people stopped me, and, met me and introduced themselves and things like that. So it was really, really, really good. So I totally enjoyed the night. I literally got one photo, and that's of me and Karen has asked me to just love it myself. So I'm just going to love that photo myself. So it was good. But I do expect to see her here more often. She's family here, so that would be good. And I wanted to come out and see the studio and hang in the studio and just have a chillax here. And it won't go on YouTube either. So, I mean, I'm not going to put people on YouTube that don't want to be on YouTube. Unless, of course, you're related to me and I'll do what I want. Will I? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyway, so it was a beautiful, still night. There was no rain, so we got there dry. However, had it been the night before, it was a horrendous day on the Friday. Like, literally, I'm going to put a photo over it, but there's a photo of Victoria and I after we left the medical centre that we had for her. We got caught. It was only raining a little bit when we left the entry, and the car wasn't far from the entry, but the heavens just opened and the winds just blew, and my hair was like peacocked up. Oh, so... people just said, I love the hat. The hat's great. I love it, love it, love it. And I said, the hat's hiding the hair. I don't know what the hair's doing at the moment. It's growing. I said, so it doesn't like to be doing anything. That's nice. So I said, put a hat on it. So that's why I made the hat. I was trying to think, what am I going to do with my hair? What am I going to do with my hat? So, yeah. Oh, if I'd done a 70s style dress, I could have put one of my paperboy hats on. Yeah, one of those. So that was the night. When it came around to, Mum asked if I'd got there, and I said, no, I'm walking the streets looking for where I'm going. And she said, is Crystal with you? And I said, no. I said, he's headed off, and it's not, he didn't just dump and run. I told him to go. I had thought I had a lot more ability to get to where I was going. I think once I started panicking, I just couldn't stay. Let's stop. Let's regroup. I couldn't do that. So I was a bit, but no. Candace Deaf to the rescue. It was great. It was fantastic. So, so that was that. And they had this nice little smorgasbord of stuff to eat. They had a couple of competitions. I won nothing, so it's all good. I didn't expect to. I just expected to go there and just meet other people, so I won, because I did exactly what I wanted to do. And so many lovely people. Some like Cat in the Hat. Karen's from Dunners, and I met somebody from Blenheim, and yeah, so there was an array of people there, and it was just amazing. Now, Larissa is one of the organisers for this, and I will get the other name up, but Larissa is a name that's not common to me, but I know a Larissa, and that's why I remember that name. So, I want to say the other one's Hannah. But either way, I want to just shout out, girls. That was absolutely wonderful and so well done. And even though I got lost, it was amazing. Loved the night, and loved getting dressed up. It was really, really good. So we got a bag, and in the bag we got like lots of things. I'm going to go through some of them real quick. A lot of them are discount vouchers, which are being donated by New Zealand companies. There is an Aussie company in there. I was having a look at it. We got a pattern. This is the pattern. I don't know if I'll put buttons over my breast like that, but it could be interesting. The line drawings is it elastic waisted? Yep, it is. So there's your line drawings. So that was the Simplicity S8914. Now this is one thing I definitely want to do. I'm just going to fold it up because it's got a code on it. It's a printing place for AOs. And I do like the AO. And it's got 36 wide copy shop files. Now, I normally use over the hill. Actually, we got something from them. So Miss Maud's. I usually use Miss Maud's. But, you know, you've got to always go out and find out if there's something closer. I don't know. So I am going to go and check out that company. We've got needles, from Benina. The bag was Benina as well. So everyone got some needles. Now, I have a quazillion needles. And I always love more. It's almost like I collect them, but I use them a lot. I do hand sewing. Some people who won't. Excuse me. And we got a little, I love these. It's a little, like a gauge to help measure hems and things like that. Or folds and all that sort of stuff. And it's Modern Makers. And it's an Aussie company. I told you not all of them were New Zealanders. Then you've got vouchers for Jones Fine Fabrics. You've got Draper's Fabrics, 20% off that. I'll be looking at that because I do like me a good Draper's. They got very, very fine fabrics. Virtual fitting, it's an online corset making. I think no. And Miss Maud's gave us these blue buttons. See, that would have been ideal. Oh, God. It would have fitted perfectly on my dress. A day late. Oh, here's Mr. Christopher. So with hope that he has fixed Mum's stuff before we go away. We've got a lovely... So going in something. Actually, to be honest, I've not stuck a label in my dress. Big one in my hat, not one in my dress. 10% off Miss Maud's. PDF patterns from the Petite Dressmaker. It's another Aussie company. Of course, if the PDF, you don't have to worry about sending it over. Cooper Street Made Marianne Craft. You got your, I was about to read out the code. Fine Cloth Company. Now, I do love the Fine Cloth Company. They are in Thornton Key. And then, of course, you know, the Sewing Revival. I'm always raving on about their stuff because I'm a big Firmbird fan, and I'll be making their classic trouser. And what else am I making? Am I making something of theirs to go away? I think I'll be making a pair of the trousers to go, and I've got 2 pairs of shorts already that I'm going to go. I miss Molly's labels, so I've got 2 labels, which is really cool. 20% off the fabric store. Newtown House, something or other. Newtown House. And 30% off patterns. And that's for very fine print. It's for My Keeper. Oh, I'm going to have to Google that one. So I sat down today and did Google some of them, which is good. We got two vouchers for alcohol at that stage. Like I said, I needed the first one, definitely. And, sorry, I did spread myself out. We've got some elastic, like from Nellie Jones is like a lingerie company in New Zealand. And I'm not going to show you that, but they've given elastic and like stuff that will go on to make bras. Now, eventually I would like to try and make a bra. I'm lazy, and the girls are hard to sort out, so I just kind of buy them. Twig and Tail. We've got Maria French. We've got Valerie. We've got Paper Theory patterns. So all these vouchers, our drinks, the night, the food, and the pattern, I think we got better end of the deal, to be honest, especially if we take up all of these vouchers, because they will surpass what it cost us for the actual night. And it was good. Like, when we were leaving, at 10 o'clock it shut down, but they were just putting everything back to straighten it up. And Karen came to me, and she was going to Uber, I think, with somebody, with Mel, and I cannot remember his name. sorry. But yeah, so I thought she was going to Uber with them, and then she came up to me, she goes, Mr. Christopher can drive me back to my hotel. And I went, yes. So next minute, all my business cards are being held out. She is such an awesome person, just handing them out, telling everybody I was on YouTube. I don't know how many other New Zealanders besides Catherine that are sewists in New Zealand. Let me know if you know any others, because I think, you know, there was the other one we had that Catherine and I caught up with, and out of my brain at the minute, we went through Wellington together, all of us. So if you know any other New Zealanders, let us know, because that would be really, really good. But yes, that's why it's a little old place down here in New Zealand. And so any shout outs that we can get to get on board with the UK, especially the UK and USA, would be fantastic, because we are a little country and we don't have many shout outs. So feel free to. So that was my week last week. It was quite the huge week, and I did wake up at 6:30 this morning, and yeah, so when we went out, Mr. Christopher said it was about 10:40, so he'd been sitting for about 40 minutes waiting for us. Adorable. So I did text him and say, oh, we're taking Karen back to her house, back to her motel. And he goes, no worries. So yes, so then I had a big greet, which was really good. So, and we got her back home safely, and that was good. Well, back to her hotel safely. So that was what was the main thing. And yeah, we sort of took home and hopped into bed, and I felt like a burger. So Mr. Christopher got up and made me a burger. Now I don't eat burgers because I don't eat bread, because bread and me don't like each other. But he made a really yummy burger, and I ate it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I was younger and I used to go out clubbing, I didn't drink alcohol. I'd go out clubbing and I'd be the driver. And we'd always swing into the Burger King on the way home. You know, back in the youth when you could, swang into the Burger King, and I think in Australia it's called Hungry Jack's, or in Brisbane. I swear it's Hungry Jack's in Brisbane. And I'd get a Whopper with bacon every time, and you'd get home and you were just like, oh. So he made me a burger. He made himself some. So it was just, midnight eating. That's not what I am doing, and normally it's weird. So yeah, so that was my night. That was my week. That was amazing. Big shout out to the Wellington Frocktail girls, everyone that I met. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for welcoming me into the night. It was really, really good. Like I said, special shout out to Candy and to Steph for walking me there. Oh, and it was so cute. Candy kept saying, are you good with your shoes? Are you good with your shoes? I said, yeah. So, and I still had them on at the end of the night. I took them off at home when I got inside. Apparently I crept around. The gate was open because the dogs were inside. But I went and shut the gate, and I'm just trepidatiously walking up the stone little gravel area and trying to shut the gate. So that, because they're not tramping shoes. No, they're not. So I had them a while now. Probably had them since 2015. 10 years. Oh, my goodness. I think I need to clean out my shoes and buy new ones. So next week is, I've just finished working today, some stuff that came into me from the company I do some work for. I got one more pair of pants for them to hem because it wasn't in stock, so they're going to bring it to me on Tuesday. I'll hem them. In the meantime, with that fabric I showed you that didn't send me love for the Frocktails dress, that's going to be turned into a Tamarama suit. That's going to head over to Australia with me. And I've got some other things I want to make. I've got some stuff already cut out. So I have my week and next weekend prepared, and we fly. Oh, by the way, the nails. Oh, and the gold matches beautifully on the gold, and that was how my nails were done. They're just, I was going to get SNS, but I got gel tips, and they'll be changed for Australia because I wear green in Australia as well, so I want more of a neutral. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I did dye my hair in time. Crazy crazy week last week. You would think that I would have been way more. No, I'm never way more prepared. Don't ever think I'd be more prepared. Right, so I've been talking for 44 minutes. I've only shown you, I've only shown you 2 things I've sewn. I haven't. I've shown you 1, 2, 3, belt, 4, and a dress. 5 things. Not too bad for somebody who had a function to go to. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I have talked your ear off, and I hope you have stuck to the end. If you stuck to the end and you have not subscribed, really, really, really appreciate it if you would just do me a solid. Hit the subscription. Hit the notification bell. It's going to be a busy week next week of me maids making them up for Australia. I want to get on there, and I also want to say to you guys what I'm taking and do like a little wardrobe walk. I've been asked if I'll do that, so I'm going to. And also I want to say to everyone out there, happy Father's Day. I'm thinking of my dad today, and wish he could be here with me. So love to you all of you who have lost your fathers, thinking of you all as well. Okay, so sending out that love. I'm going to go now. I think Mr. Christopher needs me back upstairs to help with that report he needs to get done. So I will love you and leave you. I want you to stay well, stay warm, stay dry, keep cool, keep on sewing. Hydrate. Have no regrets. None. And save face. Okay? So next time I'm looking at you, there should be a few things I'm going to be showing you. Take care until then, everybody. See you later.
Hi, I am Stacey J. I'm here today. Let's talk about the wanton Frocktails organized by Larissa and Rosie. My first time to the show. Let me tell you how it goes. Sit back, relax, grab a drink. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, and share. Let's talk about the Wellington Frocktails organized by Larissa and Rosie. My first time to the show. Let me tell you how it goes. Sit back, relax, grab a drink. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, and share.
Subscribe, like, and share. Just to let me know that you care.